All right, here we go. We're live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions. You got the Aired Out podcast. I'm JD Green. 6:02 exactly our time. Sorry about the voice here, folks. I've lost my. I haven't lost it completely. I'm still trying to find it, but it is somewhere. My voice. I don't know where the hell it is, but I'm still looking for it. So just bear with me. 13th of the month. I think that I had Jason Corliss on. Actually, I know I did by telephone. Didn't we do it like a year ago, man? Wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It was a year ago.
Yeah, I think it was.
Shit, I forgot. I just thought of that now. I'm like, oh, my God. I've had you on, but I've never met you.
Yeah, right.
Until just now, just tonight.
Yep.
Dude, you look like you're fucking 20 years old, man. What's your deal? How old are you?
I'm 33.
Are you seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I get carded a lot. So that works in my favor,
Do
maybe?
you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Driver of the number 66 Burnett Scrap Metals Ford Fusion late model. My God, man. What a story. You got a trophy shelf with 25 career Thunder Road wins on it?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Been fortunate. Been very lucky.
What does that look like? Are there pictures of that thing somewhere?
Yeah, I don't keep them all. We definitely try to spread the wealth and give the guys some of them. And yeah, right now actually bought a new house or another house in August. So most of them are, I don't know, in the garage and underneath the stairs. And yeah, we gotta work on a trophy case.
Wow. So now let's tonight let's unhook you from the harness. Let's get you out of the car, take the helmet off, and get to know you a little bit more. You've got a wife now.
Yes. Yep.
From a girlfriend that you were with for like 100 years.
Yes. Yeah. Something like that.
Courtney?
Yes. Courtney. Yes.
Jesus, I'm glad I got that right. Shit. Courtney, and you have what? How many kids?
I got 2 now. Yeah, I've got 2 kids. So it's a busy.
How old are the
life.
kids, man?
I got a 3-year-old boy named Braxton, and I got a girl, Peyton, that's 6 months now. So a lot of diapers and a lot going on.
that is an awful lot. Whoever's with the kids right now driving the bus, kudos to them, and thank you for allowing me some time with Jason Corliss tonight. Man, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, not a lot of free time these days, but that's all right.
Wow.
It's fun. It is definitely it's a fun experience having the little ones at home and having something else to look forward to after a bad work day or a bad race or any of that.
Puts it into perspective.
Absolutely does.
Without a question.
Yep.
Those 2 kids, and I just have one little girl, and that's plenty, dude. But it's like that will put everything into perspective. No matter what happens in your day, at the end of the day, if those 2 kids are good and your wife's good, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Right. Yeah,
Really?
no, you're right. There was a time where I was so wrapped up in racing, it's just my whole life, and it still is a huge part of my life.
Of course.
But, there used to be a day where, of course, I've been driving for other people for a long time, since 2010. I've been driving for other people, and I've had the thoughts in the back of my mind, if this all goes away, I lose my ride, I'm like, what am I going to do?
Sure.
I don't know how to to normal, have a life outside of racing,
Yes.
And now I don't really worry about that as much.
Right.
I focus more on just, doing what I need to do. And if things happen beyond my control and it all goes away,
Right.
I'm happy with what we've accomplished, and I've got the kiddos at home, and I'm a happy man.
That's it.
It's all gravy from here.
What do you what do you like to? Of course, we're going to talk about racing, and we're going to talk about Thunder Road and everything. But what is it that you're not a real complicated guy? What do you like to do? What are you hunting? What do you do? What's your love outside the car?
Yeah, I think that's the understatement right there. I'm definitely not very complicated. A pretty simple guy. I outside of obviously the racing, now it's hanging out with kids. Taking care of them and trying to keep them busy and and just kind of following sports. Love watching football in the fall. Never played myself, but love watching the Patriots. And keeping up with sports.
You are a Pats fan.
Yes.
And, as a matter of fact, what's the dog's name again? I read this somewhere.
The dog's name is Brady. Yes.
Are
yes.
you serious?
It is.
You're not shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting you.
I got your beer, bud. Because I was reading something about you that you've got some history with Sean McCarthy, and every time he comes on in here, we're cracking the bush.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not Bush, but yeah, this definitely will do.
What's your time with Sean McCarthy? My God, I mean, it's like, this goes back, you and Sean.
Yeah, so Sean was a big reason, definitely a big step in how I've gotten to where I am with my racing career today. Basically, Sean had been racing Tigers for a while, and got to a point where he was kind of at a crossroads.
That's right.
With himself and his own driving career, but still had the car.
Right.
So we became friends and kind of were hanging out. And
guy's a buffoon, man. He's just crazy. He's just
he is wild.
Yeah.
He is wild. The stories that we've all heard, probably most of them are true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. And you've seen all his recipes and everything. The guy's nuts. He's nuts.
Yeah. So no, it turned out that I was kind of at the end of my my street stock days, and it was time for a change, and I wanted to move up the ladder, and he was ready to kind of do a change himself. So we made a deal. He decided to own the car, and I drove his Tiger car in 2010, and that's what kicked it all off. So
22 years ago, you were in that Tiger car. That's amazing. And you were trying to become Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah, that was our rookie year. Yep.
That was
first year. Yep.
2010.
2010. Yep.
So at that point, but you still had some big aspirations. You were still looking at the horizon saying, I am far from done with this. You were bitten by the bug hard.
Yeah. I've been, in love with racing ever since I remember, going to Thunder Road my whole life, and started humbly with the street stocks and kind of doing that deal by myself with my parents and doing as much as we could with what we had. And when we got into the Tigers, to be honest with you, I never really thought that would be realistic. Maybe when I was a little bit older and a little better off financially and more stable, and maybe I could get to a Tiger and get to a point where we would be somewhat successful in a Tiger, but never really dreamed much beyond that. I guess you could say that there were dreams, but no real thoughts that those dreams would really come a reality.
What happened in Canaan? Because that was kind of a little bit of a gear shift, man. It's like things changed at that point. You had a big wreck.
Yeah, so 2010 they had a mini series for the Tigers, called it the Tiger Tour. It was like a 3-race series, one at Thunder Road, one at Canaan, and I think one at Groveton, New Hampshire. We went to Canaan. This was pretty late in the year, and we actually had just come off a win at Thunder Road, our first career win. So we were going in with a lot of momentum, and we actually ran really well in that race. We ran a top 5 most of that race. And late in the race, there was a little incident. We went off the backstretch, and we hit the tire wall, barrier, trees, whatever it was back there. We hit that a ton. And basically destroyed the car, at least the front clip. It needed a lot of work. And we raced on Thursday, right? We had to come back, and we were running for Rookie of the Year.
So this was a Saturday, and
it was.
You had a race coming up on a Thursday at T Road.
Yeah, yep. So
car's done.
Car needed a lot of work that we didn't have the ability to fix in time for Thursday.
Oh, my God.
And we're leading the rookie points, and I think we're around the top 10 in points, probably a little bit outside the top 10 at that point. But the rookie battle was really stiff that year. And, sure enough, a guy named Chris Burnett, who I met, I think, once.
That's right.
Just one time. I lent him some parts early in the year at White Mountain. We were both there. I was there just trying to learn the Tiger car and kind of get acclimated to the series. And, he needed a part. We lent it to him, and good decision because he remembered me. And
he remembered you. And he approached you, right?
Yeah, he came up to me, and he had actually just left a wedding with his wife, and they weren't even supposed to be at that race. His driver, he had a driver running the Tiger Tour, just the Tiger Tour at that point. So he showed up with his wife. They left the wedding, bailed on the reception, and went to go watch his car.
There you go, Chris. There you go.
And so he didn't have a driver for his car for that Thursday night. They were just doing the Tiger tour at that point. So he approached me and said, hey, your car looks like it's in pretty rough shape. If you need a car for Thursday to go for Rookie of the Year, I want you to run my car. And of course, I'm like, oh boy, I don't know. I don't want to destroy your car too. And he says, nope, I want you to drive my car. So we had a quick conversation that week, and I think Monday or Tuesday, I was at their shop, sitting in the car, making sure it fit, and away we went.
What an honor, though, that he would approach you, and obviously he knew this kid's got something.
Yeah, I guess
he saw
so.
something in you.
I guess he did. Yeah. One thing I try to always do, I did it with my own stuff because I just didn't have the money, is I just always try to take care of my equipment. To finish first, you got to first finish, is what they always say. But, to be able to finish, you got to be able to race that next week. And you can't race that next week if you destroy the car, you don't have money to fix it. So
There's a quote. Where is it? I've seen it. I've got it. You said it. It's right here. I'm going to find it, you son of a... Where is it? Oh, man. Did I lose it? No, I didn't. Just something about cars that win at the garage.
yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so, it's all about taking care of stuff, because if you're not fixing the car every week and trying to put it back together, well, you can fine-tune on it and try to make it better and work on the setup. And that's what it's all about.
You got to put the hours in.
And so when I first started driving for Sean, I really didn't drive any differently than I had for myself, because I still wanted to take care of the equipment, and maybe a little more so now because it's someone else's equipment. I want to respect that.
Yeah, here it is right here. Races are won in the shop. Hard to make a car faster when you're putting it back together every week.
Absolutely right.
And you knew that going in as a young driver. You were a little... I don't want to say apprehensive, but you were aware of that, and you drove in a way where you didn't take a whole shit ton of risks in early days.
Yeah, I think, I definitely probably was a little too not aggressive enough in my early part of my career, which is kind of funny because usually when you put a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid in a race car, it's the opposite, right? The kid just wants to go full throttle, and we'll worry about the consequences later. And, that's typically how a kid that age thinks about everything, right?
Of course.
But my mindset had to be different, because if I wanted to race, that's the way I had to do it.
Yes.
So I kind of had to grow into and build up the I wouldn't say confidence, but maybe the aggression level, and learn how to kind of
have a level head,
up a little bit, but while also being calculated and not overdoing at the same time. So.
And understanding that everything is about time and money.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So look at how this is all paid off for you. My God, what you're doing now. May 1st is around the corner, dude. It's like tomorrow.
No kidding.
For the Community Bank 150, are you, dumb question, but are you ready?
I am ready. Personally, I'm ready. The race car is not 100% yet, but it's close. It's close, and I'm beyond ready. It's always nice to get back up there every spring. It's like kind of feel like a kid again every time you go up there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look at this. Look at this record here. Milk Bowl 3 times. Memorial Day Classic 3 times. Governor's Cup 2 times. You got 31 total checkered flags at Thunder Road, which puts you in a tie with Phil Scott for 4th all time. That's badass, bro.
It's pretty wild.
Did you ever think it? You ever think it?
No, not at all. It'd be crazy. It'd be wild to
you
think that.
You ever think there'd be a Jason Corliss car on the sidewalk here in Perry?
No.
My God.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, it's been a cool ride, that's for sure.
That's just amazing. In 2018, your top goal was, and 2018 was just yesterday, man, not long ago at all. Your top goal was to become king of the road.
Yeah.
That's what you were striving for.
Yep.
Now you got 3 of them, dude.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Will there be a 4th?
Not in a row. Not in a row.
What's up with that?
We've, as a team, we've made a decision that, we've checked a lot of boxes weekly at Thunder Road, and we love the place to death. That's my home. But we've elected that when you're running the weekly program, you have to stay 100% fully committed to the weekly program, and trying to bounce around and do some other races on the weekends is just extremely tough with a volunteer crew. Everyone has jobs, lives, kids. We all have stuff going on, and it's hard enough to keep the car 100% for the weekly stuff. So we're at a point where we kind of want to try some different stuff, some different tracks, some different races, and to be able to do those races 100%, we're electing to not run the weekly schedule. We're going to go and basically run all the big races at Thunder Road, and then we're going to kind of jump around and pick some big races that we've never really been able to run or choosing to focus on because we've been so occupied with the weekly stuff. So, I think it'll be a good change of pace for us. I think if you stick with any one thing too long, you run risk of it getting stale or people, at least on the team, losing interest. Obviously, we've got a good thing going now as far as, we've won 3 in a row and have a lot of success and wins. But, there's nothing wrong with, choosing to walk away temporarily and say, it's okay that we don't win a fourth because we feel like we definitely can. We feel like we can go up there and run a fourth, and it's definitely not something where we feel like we're, we just feel like it's time for something different, a new challenge, a new change, and who knows? We could be back next year. We could be back in 5 years. Might never run weekly again. I have no idea. But
was all of your crew and all of your family and friends on board with this decision?
Yeah, they were.
Any pushback from anybody?
No, not really. It was a team decision. We talked about it, and really it was probably the beginning of last season where we really started talking about this. So it's not something that just kind of came up or something, any one thing or two things that happened throughout the season that changed our attitude towards it.
Right.
We've been thinking about this for a while. Just switch it up. Just keep things fresh, you know, because sometimes you get stuck in the weekly grind and things can kind of get monotonous and guys can quite frankly lose interest, and kind of get somewhat bored with it in a way. So, to be honest, when we first kind of talked about it, I was a little on the fence at first, a little bit. And the more we started to talk about it, and as the season kind of went on, I'm very much at peace with it because it's a team decision, it's a group decision, and we're all 100% on board with it because we think that's what's best for us and for everything. And I think it's going to keep us as a group in a better place for a long time and keep our team tighter. And I think it's time for a new change and a new challenge. And we're still going to be at Thunder Road. We'll still be around the summer. Just won't be there every week.
Last September, you became the third driver in Thunder Road history to do that.
Yeah.
To be a 3-time king of the road. Chuck Beatty and Derek O'Donnell.
Yeah. 2 very, very good,
Damn.
Good drivers. Yeah.
My God. So you finished 10th in the Efficiency Vermont night. That was the 62 lapper. Gave you the third straight late model title.
Yep.
That was a hell of a night for you, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Big night.
Damn. My God. Chris Pelkey got the win that night, a third of the season for him.
Yeah.
But you must have been, who was screaming in your ear?
So my car owner, Chris Burnett, he's also the spotter. Yep. So
he must have been freaking just top of the world, man.
Yeah.
My God.
Definitely a special day. Definitely one to remember for sure.
First driver to win 5 late model wins in one season at Thunder Road this past August.
Yep.
That notch went into the belt. Damn. And Kyle Pembroke, he almost got you, man. He was in the rear view. You saw him.
Yeah.
He was chasing you.
Yeah. Kyle's been really good, really strong, especially this last season. They brought a new race car to the track, and it was a good investment for him because they were really fast. There were some weeks, I think there was 2 or 3 weeks where he was actually he ran me down, and we were able to hold him off for a win. I think it was two weeks, real close to each other.
You had to work for it.
Where I was hustling as much as I could and watching the mirror as much as I was watching the front, out the front windshield, and just trying to maintain my line. And if he wanted to go to the outside and get it done, then you could have at it. But I was holding that line. I was not going to let him on the bottom.
Wow. Of the 3 milk bowls, what was the first one? Was what year?
2017.
2017. Was that the sweetest of the 3 for you?
I think so. Yeah. It just made all of our dreams a reality. At that point we had some success.
You had a great season. 17 was pretty damn good.
Yeah, 17 was pivotal for us.
You finished 3rd in the points. You had 4 wins. In 2016, you were the runner-up for the Milk Bowl.
Yeah.
A year later, bang, you got it.
Yeah, it was one of those things, when you get so close to winning one and you don't, and especially being your first one, it stings. Granted, we finished 2nd this last year, and that stings too. Just not being so close, especially in that race, because that race is so tough. It hurts. It physically hurts.
Yes,
so
I'm sure.
And so we went back in 17. It was that is the main goal. We need to win this race because I have a void. I have a hole in my heart that needs to be filled with this Milk Bowl.
That was the nicest of the 3 for you.
Yeah, it just was such a unbelievable feeling, of like I cannot believe we actually pulled this off. We won this race.
You got to work your whole crew. Everybody's got to work so hard to get that. Talk about a team effort. It's not just the guy behind the wheel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a team effort, just like the whole deal. It's and you got to have a perfect day to win that race. And 17 was kind of a weird year because it was kind of a fairly high score. I don't remember exactly what the score was, but it was a deal where after the 2nd segment, we were in the running. We knew we had a chance, but it wasn't like we were the clear favorite to win it. So it became pretty intense really fast. Actually, it was kind of funny because my car owner, Chris, who does the spotting, he was getting really amped up because we had to pass one car to win that race. We had to beat Trampus Demers, and we both knew it. So we raced the hell out of each other. And me and Trampus, we were blowing corners left and right, just overdriving the hell out of our cars because we knew what was on the line. And my spotter was getting so amped up that I actually I keyed the radio and told him just shut up. I told him he needs to be quiet because he was just so excited. It was so much was on the line, and he was amping me up, and I was trying to focus so much, and it was just one of many funny on radio experiences that we've had together.
Now, did you say quietly and lovingly, Chris, would you please refrain from any future comments or encouragement going forward?
Yeah.
Or did you say, shut the fuck up?
Yeah, I think it was more like the
like
second.
that?
More like it. Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. But it's funny, though. Chris, he's been my spotter ever since we started, and it's funny. We can have those moments. Usually, once every few races, I'll say something or get snarky with him because of whatever's happening in the race.
Right.
And he doesn't take it he doesn't take it personal. It's not like I'm the car owner. You can't talk to me like that. It's just driver talking to spotter. Heat of the moment. We're both working our tails off trying to win the race.
So friendship that's 22-ish years.
Yeah.
And you guys hit it off right away.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Damn, man. You gotta have somebody like that. You gotta have somebody like that.
Yeah, it's just an unbelievable break for me, really, to have somebody like Chris, come along, and then to be able to have his friendship and to have him have my back the whole way through. There's never been a question once of if I'm going to lose my ride or lose the seat. And quite frankly, looking back, there were some Tiger years, a couple Tiger years where we weren't very stellar. We weren't that great. And looking back, it's like, well, shit, it could have been easy for him to say, all right, hey, I'm going to try a different horse.
That's right. So 17 was really pivotal for you. That's when you and Chris said, we might be onto something here.
Yeah.
We might be onto something big.
Yeah. So the biggest thing about 17 is we decided to run the full ACT Tour on top of running the full Thunder Road Tour. And we did that with one car. And it's actually the same car that we've been running still to this day.
Yeah.
So the big part about that is I feel like I learned a lot as a driver.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot about the car. And while that year was a lot of friggin' work,
I'm sure.
It in the end, I think it paid off huge for our future success.
Yeah. Who's your favorite driver? Any division, Thunder Road, ACT Tour. Who's that guy that if you had the flu, you weren't able to drive, you're in the grandstands, you're up on Butt Hill, who do you want to win?
It's tough. You know, the thing about the sport, being around the sport for so long, growing up at the racetrack, you have so many friendships, right? And
that's been a constant with all of you guys that have come in here.
Yeah.
Which is impressive to me.
It is. It's funny how you race so hard, so close with people, and you have run-ins, you have disagreements.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I honestly have respect for every single person that walks in that pit area or hops in the seat, because I know what it takes, you know, and I know the amount of effort and the dedication and drive that they all have.
Yeah.
And you know, there might be some mini rivalries, or maybe some more that the media probably try to put in place than what are real. But
right.
Even those guys, you know, I have a tremendous respect for, and would have no problem having a beer with and shooting the shit. But I know in the last couple years, probably in particular, we've gotten pretty close with the Cahoon team in Tyler Cahoon.
Tyler's coming on.
Good.
I can't remember the date, but he's coming on. He and I have been texting each other over the last week or so. He's coming on soon.
Yeah. So we've actually kind of formed. He's been working close with our crew chief, and he's been kind of like a teammate to us the last. Yeah. I'd say we are kind of team cars the last few years. So we park next to each other a lot, and they're just unbelievably good people. It's got a lot of respect for Tyler as a person and as a racer, Tyler's definitely one of the ones that towards the top of my list. That's for sure.
Wow. Let's talk family here. You got a sister who's down in Massachusetts who runs up here.
Yep.
As often as she can to watch it. You got a brother that you're close with.
Yeah.
You got a mom and dad.
Yep.
Dad was turning wrenches for Chris Machad.
Yes. Yep.
When you were tiny, little toddler.
Yep.
Bringing you to the track all the time.
Yeah.
You grew up doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up around it. I used to go and just sit in the stands and watch, and then when I was old enough to get in the pits, I started helping on Chris's car, and that's kind of where it all started.
Wow.
Yep.
What about Mom?
Mom, big supporter of mine. She's not as close, doesn't come to all the races, but she definitely comes as much as she can. And the beauty of the streaming stuff now is Mom, Grandma, who used to never really watch the races, she'll go over and watch the races with Mom now. And my sister down in Massachusetts, she still loves to come up for a couple of races a year, but she can get out of work and watch Flo with her kids at night. So it's great that we've been able to kind of they've been able to not really miss much. While being a little bit away from the racetrack.
What about your brother?
My brother, he's
what's his name?
His name's Greg.
Yeah.
He's a little bit older than me. So he's always been a role model of mine, just because I was a young kid always looking up to him. He was always the big guy, and
yep.
And he's super competitive guy. He was big in high school sports, won a couple state championships for basketball. And so I watched him kind of have that success at a very young age, and that had a huge impression on me as a competitor and I think as a person.
That's right.
Just seeing his work ethic and his drive towards success did a lot for me.
Wow.
Even to this day.
No interest in getting behind a wheel, though.
No, not at all.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, no, yeah, He likes racing, but he's not a fanatic like me. He's kind of stayed away.
What about your crew chief, Andrew Hill? Tell me about this guy.
Andrew, he's a good guy. He's basically he used to work on race cars. That was his job. He maintained Gene Paul Sears and Brian Horse cars when they were owned by Rick Paya. So he worked at the RPM shop up in Georgia and worked there full time. He left there and kind of jumped around a few places, and he found his landing spot now by opening his own speed shop. So
Wow.
him and my car owner, they now own Pard Brothers Racing, and they're a speed shop up in Colchester, where our race cars stay in his shop, and so that's what he does, and we're lucky enough that he helps us, and he's on board with us, and helps lead our ship a little bit, and
Wow.
make all the decisions to make us fast.
Do you get over and see him often? Do you get into the garage?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep. We're in the shop every week, working on the cars.
Making sure that it's warm. And
That's
the
right.
humidity is set just right during the winter.
That's right.
Christmas lights are on. All those things.
Yeah,
right?
all the important stuff.
The important things.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we made the foolish decision. I say foolish because it's not done yet, but we're actually building a new race car right now too, another ACT car. So we technically have 3 cars in the shop, super late model and now 2 ACT late models, and we don't have a single one that's race ready at this very moment as I sit here. So there's always plenty to do.
Have you thought about robbing a bank?
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah,
Dude, I mean, wow.
yeah. And the clerks too. I take the clerks
Yeah,
to we'll teach them something. They
Of
work on
course.
the cars.
Tell me about Dan Turkey.
Dan, yeah.
What's up? What's up with Dan?
Dan's been with me for a long time. Just basically right when we started late models. Dan's a close friend of mine, and he's the type of guy that'll give you the shirt off his back. Hardworking guy. He works for the city of Montpelier, and he's just super loyal. Just a good person. And I'm just fortunate that he's been around for a long time, and it's those type of people that make going to the racetrack that much enjoyable. People that you like going to the racetrack with and working hard with, and at the end of the night, good, bad, or indifferent, you're still hanging out with good friends and drinking a beer. And
That's awesome. How did you find out that there was going to be a statue of your car on the sidewalk with the Barry Yard splash?
I think Carl called me.
Carl Rinker.
Carl Rinker, yeah, he called me, and that's how it all started. Believe he might have sent me a picture first.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a cool deal that was. That was neat.
You must have. What was your reaction?
Well, the best part was my son's reaction. So we're driving down.
I love that.
Every single time we drive down Main Street, of course, they had 3 of the cars, and they all looked the same. They were the same style car. So as we drive down Main Street, my son would point at it and go, "Daddy's car."
Oh my God!
Drive by the next one. There's Daddy's car, and he'd say it for every one. So my poor wife, every time she drives down Main Street, my kid's yelling, "There's Daddy's car" every time. So the best part is he's 3, right? So you would have thought he would have forgotten about that. Those have been gone since last summer, right?
Oh no!
About 2 weeks ago, she drives down, and she gets down towards, I think it was towards Dunkin' Donuts, right down towards the end of Main Street, and he goes, "Hey, where's Daddy's car?"
No.
But
he's got the wares now in front of the. Oh no!
But that's not a permanent thing.
Oh my God! That is so cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's. I love to when I have you drivers on. I love to ask you. I just love to take you down the Tom Curley Avenue, and most of you drivers, I love to ask you what your take is on Tom. And so far, every single one of you has been straight line, like right on consistent with what your response is about Tom Curley.
Yep.
What's your take on dear Tom? God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him. He was a big role in my racing career. He did a lot. It did a lot for me, and probably more indirectly, just from the way he ran his program, the platform he provided to kind of teach us how to race, and race the right way, and hold us accountable. That was the big thing. He held everybody, even his stars. He held everybody accountable for the way we race and the way we perform for the fans, because that's the most important thing.
I think Nick Sweet was saying that yesterday.
Yep. And so what came with that is, I mean, he could be an asshole.
Yeah.
And he had a fiery personality. And what's funny is, I'm pretty even keel and don't get too fired up or stepped over the line too often. But there was a year where I approached him about a call he made. I was running for a street stock championship, and I made contact with the guy I felt like deserved to have contact made and put him into the infield, and I got black flag.
Oh, Jesus.
And so I had thought that ended my championship hopes, and I decided, against probably better judgment, yeah, I decided to ask him about that decision at the end of a Saturday of Milk Bowl. And he did not have a good Saturday with his late models. So when I asked him about that, he decided to tell me that if I wanted to just go and knock people around, that I could go play field hockey. So at that point, I said, you know what? F this. I don't need to take this.
That's how I would have been.
And I thought about not going back the next day. I knew I was going to be starting last, and I got black flagged in the heat race, and championship hopes were over. And
you were pissed?
I was pissed. I went back the next day. Not in a very good mood, but I went back. And we drove from the back and ended up winning the championship. And Tom ended up hugging me later on that day. Happier than hell.
Less than 24 hours.
Yes. Happier than hell for me. And it was just so funny because, I got to see both sides of Tom instantly. I got to be on the side where, he was teaching me a lesson. And it wasn't a lesson I wanted to learn or I felt like I deserved, but it was a lesson. And he was just as happy as hell for me the next day when I actually pulled it off. And there's been other moments in my career. My first win in late models in 2014, he came right out of the booth like he's done for a bunch of guys, young guys especially. He came right out of the booth and right in victory lane and gave me a big hug right in victory lane in front of everybody. And those type of things mean a lot. Actually, early in that day, he told me that I was going to win that race. He pulled me aside and said, it's your time. You're going to go out and get it done today. And I looked at him and, okay, sure, Tom. Yeah, like, nice pep talk, like, and it actually freaking happened. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? He didn't leave this earth quickly. He was going downhill slowly. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was tough to see, just because he was such a strong man.
Yeah.
So to see such a strong man,
yeah,
kind of have to go through that is tough. And he didn't want to let go. You know, he held on and tried to still do his work and do what he loved right to the very end. And it was especially tough because that 2017 when we ran the ACT tour, I think we went to Lee, New Hampshire was our first race of the season. Mm-hmm. And we were in driver's meeting, and we got word that that Tom wasn't going to make it. He wasn't feeling well, and he wasn't going to make it. And it was like,
and that's big.
It was like, holy shit,
that's big news.
This is way serious.
Yeah.
You know, this is probably more serious than all of us really thought. Which you obviously know that COPD and that stuff is bad, and it usually doesn't get better.
Right.
But that was huge. You knew if Tom
couldn't
physically make it to a race, that it was a big deal. And so we ran a lot of that year without him. He managed to come to a couple races, and I believe he actually race directed a couple races from his car.
Yeah.
From the infield. So.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it was tough to be that close to the tour and him really not being there, and kind of having a skeleton crew of people kind of running the tour that year. And,
right.
And it was kind of we felt good about being there that year for the tour and kind of helping maintain that and keep it what it is.
Yeah.
What it is today.
I just got a text message on my way in tonight that from Joey Paul Warsick, who wants to come on the podcast. So we're going to get him on soon.
Yep.
And I'm going to ask him the same question I've asked Marcel, same question I asked Nick Sweet yesterday. And I'll ask you, what do you think of this new track? The lighting, the grandstands, the turns.
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable. What they've done is it's kept its same excitement. It's still Thunder Road, but it's almost like it's a stadium now. It's like it's an arena. It's
right.
It's like the old. I don't know. It's just like the old Coliseum. It's
sure.
like the show is encased. Now, when there's a wreck and you can't go off the turns anymore to avoid it, that part's not as fun anymore. But as long as you stay away from the concrete, you're good. So don't go off the track.
But you've had a chance many times to run that track before Chris took over. The difference between the old days and the good days.
Yeah.
You like it. You prefer this.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I think we've always had more success since they paved the track.
Yeah.
But and I felt like we were good, and we were just kind of gaining our footing with our program and our team right before they paved the track. So it kind of happened as we were kind of going into our full stride anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the track the way it is, and Jesus, the lighting. That's the biggest thing, not only for the fans, but I mean, Jesus, the drivers. I can tell you there was a lot of nights, especially once you get into Tigers late models and you're really moving a lot faster out there, where it really takes almost a lap or two to get fully adjusted to the lighting, to the how dark it was. Where
in the
now
pits or wherever you were.
Yeah, now you get it. Now you get out there and it's friggin' like daytime.
Wow.
It's like you don't even question when you think about the lights. Nobody talks about them. It's just perfect now.
Any thoughts on turn 2, turn 4?
Yeah, the improvements to grandstand stuff. Yeah, that's it's badass. It's pretty cool. It's neat when they can provide new angles for the fans to kind of to kind of see the action, and we've actually gone over to that new seating over there in turn 3 and 4 before and watched some practice or we've gone over there the Friday night Milk Bowl, watched the pass race last year over there, and it's a really neat spot. It's a really cool angle to kind of kick back over there and watch them barrel into turn 3. It's really neat.
You went to Loudoun in 2015.
Yeah. Yes.
One time.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was badass. It was
You're moving.
It's a big racetrack with long straightaways. So a lot of throttle time at Loudoun. A lot different than Thunder Road.
Time to text on some of those straightaways?
It feels like it. Yes. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, not a lot going on the straightaways. It's all about the corners. It's all about momentum, especially with these type of race cars that we have. It's about momentum and really at Thunder Road, but it's amplified by friggin' 10,000 at Loudoun because you're just going so fast. If you blow a corner or have to lift or drag the brake longer than you should, the effects last the whole long straightaway, and usually you're getting passed by somebody because of it. So yeah, it's all momentum based, and you got to be in the throttle as early and often as you can.
How did your car respond differently when you were on Loudoun?
Yeah, it was very interesting because the first thing is you kind of come off the corners and you don't really feel like you're moving very fast. It's a big racetrack, and you're full throttle and you don't really feel like you're moving. You're kind of like, all right, let's go. Let's go a little faster. And by the time you get to the end of the straightaway and you actually start approaching the corner, you're like, well, shit, I'm moving now, and I got to turn this corner, and there's not a lot of bank in there. So, and the biggest thing I noticed when my first practice when I was out there is my windshield was actually starting to bow and flex a little bit. And I never had that happen before at any racetrack we've ever been at, and it's just
amazing.
Just because the speeds and the wind and everything is just crazy. And the other big thing I noticed was the draft. We're talking ACT cars here, right? But yeah, the draft. It was amazing. I pull up behind somebody in practice and got a good run on him down the straightaway. And all right, cool. I'm just going to pull out and pass him. As soon as I pull out, it felt like somebody pulled a parachute. And I couldn't pull it off. I had to tuck back in line and try to get him in the corner. So yeah, it's all about runs, getting good runs so that you can kind of blast through that air as soon as you kind of make that move. And
how fast are these ACT cars going on Loudoun?
I'm not 100% sure. I think they're in the 150 range at the end of the straightaways. So yeah, they're moving for what they for what we're used to and the tracks we normally run on. But it's a neat deal. It's cool to kind of be able to go that fast. And there's some guys that have gotten really good. I know like Jimmy Hebert, he's gotten exceptionally good at Loudoun. He loves the place. And
he loves Loudoun.
He loves it. Oh my God, he loves that place. And why wouldn't he? He's good there. They bring good race cars there. So yeah, he's gotten good at like racing on mile long tracks. And it's just neat because you never really thought that would be much of a conversation a long time ago. And now look at us. We go to Loudoun enough where guys have actually gotten really good. It's not like we're just a bunch of quarter-miler track guys, going out there just flopping around. There's guys that are really polished at that racetrack.
There's a ton of work, though, that needs to go into setting up the car differently.
Yeah.
Just for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then you got to undo it all.
Yeah. Every racetrack takes, different setups and different, requirements for running the track. But, yeah, Loudoun's a whole different gig because, there's more bracing and more attention into the body detail and making sure that you don't have any unnecessary drag on the car. And, there's to be able to perform well at Loudoun, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Now, we've never performed well at Loudoun myself, the 1 year we ran there, but I understand and know the level of work it takes. And you can kind of get away with some stuff occasionally at the Thunder Road and some of the smaller tracks, but at Loudoun, you got to make sure your stuff's just about as perfect as it can be.
Will you go back?
I don't know. I don't know. I would say probably at some point. We would like to run the tour at some point in the future. I think.
But you're not checking the mailbox every day looking for the invitation.
No, yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly right.
You like your short track.
Yeah. I'm a short track guy. I like Loudoun. It was fun. It's just not something running part time that we've really checked on our schedule as being something that we wanted to focus on. But we may get there again.
Brad Keselowski's coming to town July 14th for the Governor's Cup 150. Had a chance to meet some big-name drivers? Have you?
A little bit, yeah.
Who have you met?
Well, last year, thankfully, we won the Governor's Cup, so I got to meet Ryan Preece when he shook my hand and helped give him the trophy. So that was neat. So I hope I get to meet Brad the same way this coming year. That'd be nice.
Yes, that would be Governor's Cup number 3 for you.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, no, it's neat to have Brad come. It's neat every year. They bring a big star in. Because I think it showcases just how difficult Thunder Road is, for the quote-unquote pros.
Oh, yeah.
And let's be honest, it brings a lot of people to Barrie. It brings a lot of attention to Thunder Road. And those are both good things. So it's good. We look forward to it.
You've been on Inside Groove.
Yep.
Uncommon Deeds.
Yes.
Aired Out. DEV a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, we've done some interviews with DV. Yep, usually at the track, but yeah.
Wow. We've had some drivers on, and we're looking for more. We got to get a decal from you, by the way. I forgot to ask you. Damn it!
Yes, that's right. Hey, I live in Barrie. Right.
That's right. We got a little sticker board going on over here. We've had Stephen Donahue, Marcel Gravel, Paco's coming in. We're going to get him on the schedule here. Nick Sweet yesterday. Matt Smith was supposed to be tomorrow. We're going to push him another week or two. Tyler Cahoon's coming in.
That'll be good.
Cooper Bouchard's coming back. Taylor Hoare was on today, this morning, with Shea Wheeler, who's 14 years old.
Yeah.
14-year-old girl getting behind in the street stock.
That's cool.
Number 1.
Good for her. That's awesome.
Doesn't even have a driver's permit.
Yeah. Isn't it wild? Yeah, it's wild to see some of these young kids get behind the wheel, but I think they're doing it right. A lot of across the country, what you see is you'll see a 12-year-old kid or something just putting a super late model or something and going unbelievable speeds with crazy amount of money into the program. And
sure,
a lot of pressure on the kid.
Right, of course,
and they don't get a chance to learn how to race. And I got a lot of respect and can appreciate these people, these families, putting these young kids in street stocks first, and letting them learn how to race, or even tigers, letting them learn how to race before they even worry about going up the ladder.
Well, look at Jamie Fisher getting his kid in, Caden Fisher, into the street stock. 13 years old last summer. Yeah. The youngest champion in Thunder Road history.
Yeah, it's wild stuff.
That's crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, says a lot. Says a lot about that kid. I mean, it's racing's got to be genetic in the Fisher family, because they're all motorheads, and a lot of them have raced themselves, and Caden's no different. Taken after his dad, that's for sure.
And we've got the Woodards They're going to be in here real soon.
Yeah, good. Nice.
They're coming in as well. Monday. Raylene is reminding me right now. This is it's so impressive to hear everything that you guys do. It's so impressive to see these little kids like Walker Fitch, who's graduating from a go-kart into a Mustang now.
Yeah.
At 10 years old, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is. It's pretty neat. It's neat to see. It's one of those things where working on cars and car racing in general, it just isn't quite as prevalent or popular as it once was.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. There's not a lot of people working on their cars in their garage at home.
Right.
A lot of it, it's so difficult to work on cars these days. Everything's electronic, and you got to plug into it, and so
right.
it's just kind of gone from our society a little bit. And so to see the sport continue to grow and see these youngsters come into the sport and have a lot of enthusiasm and excitement to do it, it's rejuvenating for me to see, because I see myself in a lot of these young kids, and
Sure you do.
and the sport I love and the track I love. It's good to see it continue and see it continue to thrive, and it's just good.
And it's
all
great
around.
to see girls get behind the wheel. Peyton Lamphere. I mean, my God, it's great.
Yeah. I remember being a young kid. It was Tracy Belrose.
Tracy Belrose.
She carried the torch for a long
Oh,
time.
my God.
And I remember if there was a young girl in the crowd,
Yes.
they instantly had someone to cheer for, because wow, there's one girl out there
Right.
racing. That's awesome. And it's so great to see. I mean, a lot of years there was maybe one girl, maybe two at the most.
Yes.
Now look, I mean,
Look
you got Shea Wheeler, you got Taylor Hoare,
Yeah.
you got the Peyton and Riley
Lanphier.
Lanphier. I
Yeah.
mean, you got a lot of
Packard.
Yeah, Emily for a long time. I mean, you got a lot of females, and I'm probably forgetting somebody, and I apologize if I am, but there's a lot of females, especially young females, into the sport right now, and that's good. It's good for the sport, and it's exciting to see.
Sure. Were you there when Tracy Belrose decided to get shot out of the cannon and
Yes.
ended up in the parking lot?
Yes, I was. What a wild deal.
Were there any times where, as a kid or even recently, where you kind of scratched your head and said, not sure, especially being a dad now? I mean, this is serious, bro.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's and well, that's the thing. I mean, I think sometimes people lose sight of that, especially on the short tracks, that this is a very dangerous sport.
Right.
And there's definitely risk.
Sure.
I could go play golf on Thursday nights and
That's right.
and be a lot less safe, or be more safe. But
That's right.
but we definitely we build safe race cars. We wear all the proper equipment. And we try to minimize those risks as much as we can. But you're right; anything can happen.
Right.
And you recognize that risk going in. So with all that said, I love the sport. I feel safe when I'm in it.
Yeah.
So knock on wood.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened. Nothing will happen. But it definitely can happen. I will tell you, the first time I ever hopped in a race car, when I was 16 years old, I believe I thought to myself, what in the hell am I doing? I'm an idiot. This is insane. Do I really want to do this? And then my thought was, well, shit, I'm so far invested at this point. I got to see if I can make this work. And then I think by the time the first practice is over, it was like, okay, this is cool. How do I go faster? How do I figure this out?
Raylene asked a question here that I was just going to ask you, and she beat me. What are you going to say when Braxton says, I want a car, Dad? or even Peyton. And Courtney's right on it, man. She's saying he's already looking.
Yeah.
Right there. Right there.
Oh, hi, honey. Yeah.
What the hell are you going to do when your kid says this, bro?
It's tough. So my deal is, so it's funny, being a guy, I look at classifieds all the time, look at stuff, and I run across go-karts, and you have that thought in the back of your mind of, should I? That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Yeah. No, I think where I'm at with all of this is nobody pushed me into this sport. Or at least into driving. Let's say that. Nobody pushed me into driving. They brought me to the racetrack. I had no choice. I went to the racetrack, and thankfully I fell in love with it.
Sure.
But nobody pushed me into driving. That was my own drive. That was my own want, and I made it happen.
Yes.
And so I don't want to push my kids into something that they haven't decided they want to do themselves, because
Good man.
they're not going to be 100% committed or have the passion that they should have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So my thought is, if they come to me and they're serious and they want to do it and want to try it, then okay, we'll talk about it and we'll look at maybe trying to find a way to do it.
Right.
But if they don't, that's fine. If they want to play stick and ball sports only, or if they don't want to play any sports, they want to do ballet or play or drama, I don't care. As long as they're doing something that they love and they're doing it with 100% passion and commitment, that's all I care. Yep.
Courtney's lucky she's got you, dude. Kids are lucky too. That's a good dad right there. I love that. Who's going to deal with it better if the kids decide, either one of them, that they want to run go-karts or get behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang? Who's going to deal with it better, you or Courtney?
That is tough. So those are her babies. So that would be extremely hard for her, I think. Mm-hmm. But she has the advantage of watching me out there for so many years.
Right.
So that's where she's got the upper hand. I can tell you that a couple of years ago, we decided, or at least my car owner decided, it'd be a great idea to build a junkyard warrior, or a road warrior, entry-level division up at Thunder Road. And we were going to take turns. Each guy on the crew was going to take it out for a night. It'd be like a little team car.
Oh, boy.
My father took it out one night.
This is not going to end well.
He did fine. He didn't wreck or do anything. I was scared shitless watching him.
Really?
I was scared shitless. and I think I might have told him that, but I don't think I really told anybody that, or even the guys on the crew. I was way more nervous watching him than I was myself.
Because on Thunder Road?
Yeah. I was afraid he was going to get hurt, do something stupid.
Oh, my God.
So I think about that. I'm like, boy, I don't know. I put my kids in there. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, though, man. You gotta just follow their lead, and you just got to do what it is that they want to do. Man, it is an absolute pleasure to get to chat with you. If you missed it, this is Jason Corliss, driver of the Burnett Scrap Metal 66 Ford Fusion. 25 career Thunder Road wins. 25. First driver to win 5 late model wins in one season at Thunder Road. Did it this past August. King of the Road 3 times. Everyone was talking about you last summer and last fall when you got your 3rd Milk Bowl. My God, dude. It's just absolutely incredible. Memorial Day Classic, Governor's Cup. Whew.
Yeah, it's it's all about people, just like everything else in life. I've said it probably 1,000 times now, but it's true. It is. It's all about people. It's all about relationships, and it's about fast race cars. And as long as you can have all of that together, good things can happen. And I've been very fortunate to be in the position I have been. And if I've had shit race cars the last few years, I wouldn't have won anything. So this is very much a team sport, and those are very much team wins. The glory is it's not like I've got 10 wins and my crew's got 8 wins or whatever. We've got 25 late model wins.
Yeah, man.
We've done it all together, right from the beginning to now. It's been the same core of guys, the same deal. So anytime I talk about our wins, it's we. It's not me. It's us. It's a team deal, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Jason Corliss, thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. I've enjoyed it.